I love technology. I'm just going to say that.
Until it doesn't work.
Exactly. Okay. Sorry, Brad. Continue.
But also, you know, you're going to be able to look right through the pickleball court to the pavilion.
Yes. Yeah, the pickleball courts are quite low profile. The only structures there are low fences and the actual nets.
Yeah.
So is the group generally fine with this?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to have the pickleball courts first because you can see through them. I think if you put the pavilion the other way, you are going to block it. Probably even better for safety to be able to see through it onto the pickleball court rather than kind of hiding in the back corner, I think.
Okay.
Yep. Any other comments?
If not, I can stop sharing my screen somehow.
Is there any way that we can drain that bottom part so it becomes usable later on? Or
It's pretty flat through there, Bill. I think there'd be quite a bit of ditching involved.
okay, because you know, we'll see what happens with parking and stuff, but later on, that's still, you know, even though we had to build it up a little bit, there could be parking down there out of the road.
The parking problem is not really addressed with this.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I just went down and looked at it the other day, and I didn't know where the property lines ended.
Yeah, if anybody wants to meet me down there, I'm happy to join them.
So, is it a consensus of our board that we're going to tell Brad that we think it's fine? Can I have Scott?
Yeah, Bill, just one thought, Brad. Is there going to be parking all the way like along Blue Water Road, kind of from one end to the next, or is it just going to be basically where the tennis courts, like where the pickleball courts are, and the pavilion?
The only areas I've looked at, Scott, is along where the courts would be in the pavilion.
And
I think going all the way up.
Spots?
I'm sorry?
Any idea how many spots that would give us?
15.
Okay. All the way up. Yeah, you might have to. I think there's a tree or two up there you might have to remove.
Yeah, and I think there's some funny topography as well.
Okay.
And then down at where your little garage is, or our little garage is you can park in there also, can you not?
Yeah, you can.
That bottom part?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I think Scott is out in wilderness.
I'm on childcare today, so Rosie and I are at the beach. I'm just listening. So.
Okay, no problem. That reminds me of 26 years ago. Any other comments?
All right, thank you for your input.
We don't need to move in or anything? You just...
I don't believe so. I can move forward with this.
Okay. Brad, are you still there?
I am still here, Bill.
Okay. Have we went out for quotes for the pickleball yet?
We haven't. I'm waiting for the schedule for the pavilion construction because we can't have two contractors on site at the same time.
Why?
It's a Ministry of Labor restriction.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been chasing the pavilion contractor, but his subcontractor hasn't given him a firm date for delivery of the parts of the pavilion. So until I have that, the RFP for the pickleball is on hold.
Can't we go for an RFP and get it being worked on?
I'd like to have a good indication of the date when they can start work. which will be the substantial completion date for the pavilion.
Hmm.
before I
And you
put it
just
out.
can't put an orange fence up between the two where you're working?
They're going to be too close together. We looked at it, we've looked at it on other projects and it doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's Department of Labor.
Yep.
Is that just for townships?
No, that's across the board.
Really? Okay. Okay. Because I know that the pickleball people are anxious to get started, and I heard that rumor, so that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I understand. I get calls from them quite regularly as well. When is this going to go? When is this going to go? So
Okay.
we're pushing.
Okay. No more questions for Brad? Depaving project.
One last question for Brad, Bill.
Yep.
Brad, will we get to see those drawings before they go for RFP, or will you likely get drawings and go to RFP before our next meeting?
I would guess that we'll be out for RFP before the next meeting. But they're pretty simple.
Well, are they going to take into account the park? Like, are they going to map out the whole sort of structure just to to show if that playground going to stay exactly where it is, or is it going to get bumped back a little bit? Or
I think it's going to stay pretty much exactly where it is.
okay, any idea how much room is going to be between it and the pickleball court? It looked a little tight. I mean, I know it's just a PowerPoint drawing, but it looked like there wasn't a ton of room.
Think there was about 10 meters, so about 35 feet.
Okay, yeah, it's not bad. Maybe if it does go for RFP before the next, or like, would you be able to share those drawings with us just so we could have a look at them in case there was any
Yep,
comments?
I will try to do that.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Just one more question, Brad. If these people that are building the pavilion don't get back to you, why don't we do the pickleball court first?
If I don't get an answer soon, I would look at flipping them.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Depaving, is Jennifer going to talk to that or somebody else?
I am.
Oh,
That's okay.
Tricia.
Yes. So the depaving project. Oh, we are looking at, I do believe, and maybe Brad, you could help me out with this. May 7th was the selected date to get together and do like a photo op, get rid of the stuff that's in that arena there. What else do you need to know? I was kind of thrown into this. I'm in the middle of planning our job fair for today. So
Can I bring my excavator?
I don't think so.
You
But if
don't
you want
think
to.
so? Okay.
Trish,
Chris, go ahead.
I had put it in my calendar as May 1st. I think maybe May 7th was the backup date.
That's right. Yes.
May 1st is a Sunday.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, I did think it was that too. I wasn't sure, but the only date that I could find where I put it in was May 7th. So I must have missed it.
Yeah, I've got it here from Jennifer. It says 1 p.m. on May the 1st. And if it needs to be delayed due to weather, it would be Saturday, May 7th at 10 a.m.
Excellent. And I have a meeting with them tomorrow, just like this. So I'll be able to get more details. And then what I'll do is I'll just send out an email to the whole group so that we can all be on the same page, if that's okay.
And you'd like us all there.
It's a great project to be involved in. I think maybe the community needs to be reminded exactly who's sitting on this committee. And for me as the communications officer, I think that it would be a great opportunity for a photo op. So yes.
Okay.
If possible. I know Nadine, you travel, so.
Can't hear you, Nadine.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say I'll probably be at Thrive anyway, so that's fine. That would work.
Okay.
Trish, are you talking to name the game?
I am. So we had discussed, sorry, through you, Chair. We had discussed, I think 2 meetings ago, that when we brought forward some names, that we wanted some more Métis influence. And we put that out to Greg, president of the Métis Council, and they just had a meeting on Wednesday. So he asked for a couple more days to decipher that. So again, I'm gonna have to get back to you guys. I'm just kind of waiting on their group to see. They wanted to really think about it and put forward some good names. So
Okay. The only question that I have, that I know that we got the funding because of the Métis, but what was very surprising to me, and I didn't realize it, we have a lot of Indigenous people living in Honey Harbor, and it's interesting that they're so maybe our next committee will have an Indigenous person on it.
Was that the reception of when we put it out to the community, because we were asking for Métis members, and I think that that's on the agenda. Are we discussing that at all, Karen?
Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
Sorry, Trish. It's already been approved by this committee and by council to have Métis membership. Council will actually be the ones who decide who gets appointed, and that's on Monday's agenda for council.
That's fine. I knew it was coming up. It's in my head. I just couldn't remember whether I had to come here first or go there. So yeah, I think when we go forward, it's definitely, we put it out to the community about, you know, Métis membership. But again, going back to the name game, I don't think we got grant funding for the Promenade Pavilion and Parquet because of our involvement with Indigenous or Métis. I think that's a totally separate grant. The grant we did receive for that is the park, like the Honey Harbor Park. But when we were all discussing names, the names that came forward, it was asked that we have at least one name to kind of represent, you know, this connection. So I will have definitely an update for our next meeting, because I did ask that they only take the next few days to decide what they wanted to put forward so that we could get our plaques and stuff ready for spring.
Okay. Anything else about the name from the committee? The name game? Signage program. Trish again?
Yeah, it's a busy day for me today. So the signage program, we've kind of changed it. We were looking at large, you know, 4-foot kind of billboards with this like beautiful picture and story, and then they would scan. And we decided, I guess it was decided to take that away because the landscape is beautiful. The view is beautiful out to the lake, and we don't want to wreck that, but we still want to offer the opportunity for all of our community groups and organizations to talk about the importance of our, you know, environment, the importance of what they do for the area, and how we can continue to move forward in a sustainable manner. So what we've done is we've created, and I think it's in your package there, it literally will be this big, like maybe 4 by 6, a nice white crisp background. It'll have the logo of, let's say, Severn Sound Environmental Association, have their logo, a little blurb about what they do, and then a QR code. And the QR code will invite you to scan here to hear their story. And we've already filmed a few of them, so those will live on YouTube. And you'll be able to see those all the time. And what I am looking at is to develop a QR code that if we change that video, we can still route that QR code or that code that we scan to a newer updated video, just so that those signs, because those signs can last for years, and so that we can update it if possible. So those are the things that I'm kind of looking at. And then that way too, like they'll be small enough that they're not wrecking any view, and you can still see the beautiful Georgian Bay, but still have an opportunity to hear a story along the way. So if you can think of any groups or organizations that we need to reach out to get them involved, we did have Georgian Bay Biosphere, Georgian Bay Forever, SSEA, and we have ourselves as well. So if there's any others that I'm missing off the top of my head, please just let me know.
Well, I suggested to Jennifer that the Honey Harbor Association would like to do something, or we should be doing something, and that we should be and have a video of the community church on Sunday and have a video of the kids at camp and stuff. And it was kind of put that if we did that, we were taking away from Honey Harbor, but I feel that stuff like that should be all right. So if you want to have that discussion and come back to our association.
So I think, sorry, through you, Chair. I think, what I hear from that, like, that sounds like a good promotional video. Like, we could definitely, I think we could work with something like that. I will take it back to Jen. She's unable to be with us today, but I'll take it back to Jen and discuss with her. But I think that you're right, like a nice little snippet of the activity that happens within the community, maybe one of your voices behind the story telling like a heritage point. Also, I forgot to mention that we would definitely have like Métis Council invited or Indigenous representation there. So that'll be.
Okay. Yes, Chris, you're muted.
Sure. I don't recall from past meetings, but are we offering free public internet along the promenade and the pavilion? And the reason for my question is if we're going to have QR codes and asking people to go to the internet to get the information about the site, are we offering internet access there?
I honestly, through you, Chair, to Chris, I don't know the answer to that. I can look into it. I don't know what that would look like, as I know that internet in Honey Harbor can be difficult. So let's see what we can do and maybe work out a plan. Maybe I can connect with one of our providers and see if there's something that they can do for us. I do know other communities host it in their downtowns too, to allow for those opportunities. So I agree with you that it could be a good option.
Could be an election point for our next council.
We did have it downtown. Jennifer would know all about that.
Yeah, and I think she talked about it in the past about bringing something into Honey Harbor. So I think Trish, if you can talk to Jennifer, it would be interesting to know what the plan is and if that will involve public internet along the promenade and at the.
Any other questions for Trish? Anybody have new business? Chris?
It's not new business. I just wanted to follow up, and maybe today's the wrong day since Jennifer is not here. But in the past, we talked about signage along the large docks, so that it was more obvious that the docks are for public parking and not part of the Dell. And I thought that we were going to get that signage last year, and I don't believe it ever happened.
Will you take that back, Trish, to Jennifer?
Brad, you and Jen were both discussing this, so I don't know if that's something that you can talk to.
Yeah, that is something we did discuss, and I believe it's been ordered to go up on the docks along the face of the dock, but I will double check.
Okay. The other thing along those lines, I know I had brought up a few meetings ago the idea of putting a flag somewhere there so that people can tell wind direction when parking boats. And I think Jennifer was going to take that one away too. Brad, did that happen to be part of that same discussion, or? And if not, can you follow up on that one?
I can follow up on that one. I don't recall that or have it in my notes. Perhaps I missed that meeting.
Thanks.
Anything else? Are we anywhere? I know that Jennifer's been talking to the new cruise line. Are we anywhere with that, Trish? You're muted.
Sorry, honestly, with Jen being off this week, I don't have the updates that I normally get. I do know it's happening. I do know that there will be a cruise ship in 2023, but not this year. And that we are looking, especially for the park redesign, we're looking for extra parking for that because it will be happening. So it's exciting news. I just don't know the final details of what all is happening for this year.
Are we getting anywhere with the Delawana?
Staff and
wanna
legal
speak?
counsel are currently in discussions, and we are actively back and forth, and we'll be meeting with them again next week.
Because I understand the park hasn't made a deal with, and it's only rumor, Karen, but I thought the park was in negotiations with the Delawana, and
The park, like the provincial park,
no, the federal park,
or the
Canada.
federal park. Yeah.
yeah, and they were going to have 15 parking spots, but I understand that hasn't happened either. But that's rumor, so.
That might be more rumor than fact.
Okay. Any other new business? Hearing none. We don't have any resolution for committees of the whole? None? This is going to be the shortest meeting on record. Can we have a motion to adjourn? Chris? Curtis? All in favor to adjourn? Okay. Thank you for all joining us. I'm sorry I was a few minutes late. It's nice that all of a sudden Bell decided we could have internet. So have a great weekend.